What are the controlled components in React? Definition. In React, a controlled component is a type of a component where its state is not internally managed. Instead, the state is controlled or maintained by the application itself, typically in a parent component. External state control. The key characteristic of a controlled component is that it relies on external state, meaning the component's value and behavior are managed by another part of the application, usually a parent component. Data flow. In a controlled component, data flow in a unidirectional manner. The parent component passes down the current value as a prop, and any changes to the value are communicated back to the parent through specified callback functions. Props for value and changes. A controlled component typically receives two main props, value and onChange. The value prop sets the displayed value of the component, while the onChange prop handles any changes to that value. Predictable behavior. The use of controlled components ensure a more predictable behavior because the component doesn't manage its internal state. Instead, it relies on the external source, usually a parent, for updates and values. Effective for form elements. Controlled components are particularly effective for form elements such as input field checkboxes and radio buttons. Each of these form elements is essentially controlled by the external state. Benefits. Consistency. Since the parent component controls the state, there is consistency in managing and updating the component's value. Synchronization. The value of the controlled component is always synchronized with the application state. Communication pattern. Controlled components exemplify a communication pattern where the parent component communicates directly with its children, passing data down and receiving updates through specified callback functions. Validation and manipulation. Because the parent component manages the state, it can easily validate and manipulate the data before passing it down to the controlled component, ensuring data integrity. Comparison and uncontrolled components. Controlled components stand in contrast to controlled components, where the component manages its own internal state. Controlled components offer more control and consistency in state management. Enhanced predictability. The predictability and ease of testing are enhanced in controlled components because their behavior is directly tied to the application state and the prescribed method for updating that state. Promotes reactivity. By relying on external state, controlled components align well with React reactivity model. They efficiently respond to changes in the application state, updating and rendering accordingly. Thank you. To sign up for the React MERN Stack training, please contact 98759 05952 or email info@devixhub.com. Thanks again.